Welcome back to Fable's Adventures. Amara here again, your host, and I'm excited about today's story, Ruins of Unraveled Time, because this is a story from a new contributor from our community who goes by the creator name of Rogue Cat. This creator has published and shared a few stories, and we're very excited to feature this one today. It's a time-traveling mind-bender for our sci-fi fans out there. Hit like, subscribe, and comment as to what you're enjoying about our series here. And now, enjoy the story, and we'll see you on the other side.
Chapter The Weight of Hours. You've always been good at running. That's what this is, isn't it? Running. Just in a different direction than before. Morgana's hands tremor as she reaches for the sky bridge railing. The metal is warm, wrong warm, fever warm. Because time moves faster here, everything aging in accelerated decay. You notice the tremor first, the way her fingers don't quite obey. She notices you noticing and pulls her hand back into her pocket like she's hiding contraband. It's nothing, she says, but her voice has that hollow quality now, the sound of someone speaking from inside a well. You don't answer. Instead, you study the ruins ahead, the skeletal remains of Research Station 7, suspended 3,000 meters above the lower city, where time crawls like a dying thing. Up here, the station's been abandoned for what the chronometers claim is 40 years. Down there, it would have taken 200. The floating city doesn't forgive math. The sky bridge sways. It always sways. You've learned not to look down, not because you're afraid of falling, but because the sight of the lower city's lights, those gentle, patient stars, makes you remember why you left archaeology in the first place. Beauty shouldn't be allowed to hide this much suffering. How long? Morgana asks. For the cure or for you? She flinches. That's new. The old Morgana would have matched your cruelty with her own, sharp-tongued and bristling. This version, this temporally fractured version, just folds inward like a photograph, left too long in the sun. Both, she whispers. You don't tell her the truth. The truth tastes like copper, like you've bitten through your own lip trying not to scream. The truth is that temporal sickness doesn't have a cure, not one documented in any archive you've found across 3 continents and 2 ruined centuries. The truth is that you've been reading the same research papers obsessively, hoping the words will rearrange themselves into something salvageable. The way you've learned to rearrange technology and language and the basic physics of survival. Adaptive brilliance, they called it. Your gift, your curse, your reason for being trapped in this in-between space, forever learning the rules of worlds you'll never truly belong to. 6 hours you lie, maybe less. The station's entrance is sealed with a membrane of crystallized temporal residue. It looks like ice, but feels like grief. Your fingers find the weak point immediately, muscle memory from a dozen other incursions. You've learned the fingerprint of decay, the exact pressure required to fracture the unfracturing. Inside, the air tastes metallic, copper again, always copper. The corridors are a study in violent geology. What would have been a gradual colonization of rust and dust has become aggressive erosion. Walls pitted and scarred, computer terminals blooming with crystalline growths like flowers of mathematical decay. Equipment sits half-finished, experiments frozen mid-hypothesis. On one workstation, a coffee mug still holds brown liquid, but it's turned to something between tar and glass, a monument to the exact moment someone decided this place wasn't worth saving. You move deeper. Morgana follows, and you can hear the effort in her breathing now, the way her lungs have to work harder at different altitudes. Her body's trying to sync with multiple time flows, and it's tearing her apart from the inside. Level 7, then 8. The chronometer on your wrist cycles through dates with increasing desperation, years flashing like a dying pulse. In the upper reaches of this station, you've been inside for what feels like an hour. Outside, probably 12 minutes have passed in the lower city. The math of temporal physics is the only thing that's made sense since you got displaced. And that's exactly the problem. The archive is sealed behind something that isn't quite a door. It's more like a wound that's been stitched closed, layers of temporal plating welded together by crystalline growth that's had decades to set. You work the seams with instruments you've borrowed and modified from 3 different eras. Adaptive brilliance is just another way of saying you've become very good at breaking things that were never meant to be broken. The seals give. Inside, rows of data crystals, each one humming with preserved information, and something else, something that makes you stop. A photograph, Polaroid style, the kind that develops slowly, revealing itself frame by frame. Except this one's already developed, and it shows a face you recognize. It's you, older, scarred in ways that suggest you've lived through things you haven't experienced yet. Standing beside a woman with dark hair and Morgana's exact jawline. You pick it up with numb fingers. On the back, don't trust the cure. Trust her instead. A. Your breath comes short. The metallic taste intensifies. You want to scream, want to throw the photograph into the temporal decay and watch it age 1,000 years in seconds, but instead you just stand there, holding proof that you've already failed. Atticus? Morgana's voice sounds like it's coming from underwater. I can't feel my hands anymore. You turn. She's pale in a way that transcends normal sickness. Her form wavers slightly, as if she's existing in 2 moments simultaneously. The temporal sickness has progressed further than you thought. She's not just getting sick. She's becoming unmoored, losing her anchor to linear time. And you understand. Finally. Brutally. This isn't about finding a cure. You step toward her, moving with the careful deliberation of someone approaching a cliff edge. Your hands find hers, their ice and fever both, existing in contradictory states. She looks at you with eyes that are starting to lose focus, to drift between moments like someone falling asleep. I need you to listen, you say, and your voice sounds strange, fractured. Really listen. She nods barely. Temporal sickness doesn't have a cure because it's not a disease. It's a gift. You're reading this off the data crystals now, information flooding in as you jack the archive's interface directly into your neural implants. Your eyes are streaming data. The researchers who built this city, they were trying to create people who could exist across multiple time flows simultaneously, beings who could survive in all altitudes at once. Morgana gasps. That's impossible. Yes, you say, and it worked. It worked so well that it terrified them. They abandoned the city. They tried to destroy all records of the experiment. You hold up the photograph. This is from 40 years in my future, or 200 years. The chronometers here don't work right anymore. But in that photograph, you're not sick. You're transformed. You're something new. Morgana's hands are becoming translucent. You can see through them to the temporal decay beyond, as if she's transitioning between states of matter. What happens to me? She asks. You don't have an answer. You have only the photograph and the knowledge that somewhere in a possible future, you're standing beside someone who wears her face and isn't quite her anymore. You have the crushing weight of understanding that you've been running toward this moment the entire time, that your adaptive brilliance isn't a gift for learning. It's a gift for witnessing transformation and surviving the guilt of it. You become free, you finally say, and you're not sure if it's true or if you're just repeating what the ruins want you to believe. Morgana closes her eyes. When she opens them again, they're different colors, Not literally, you're not hallucinating, but they reflect light differently now, as if they're catching illumination from moments that haven't happened yet. I can feel them, she whispers, all the different times. They're not separate anymore. They're just layers, moments happening all at once. She squeezes your hand, and you feel the pressure across multiple temporal states, light, then heavy, then light again, as if she's existing in a stroboscopic present. Come with me, she says, into the next time, the one in your photograph. You want to, God, you want to. But you look at the data crystals, at the centuries of research, at the weight of choices that have led to this moment. You've learned the physics of temporal distortion, but you've never learned how to stop running. I can't, you say. I have to document this. I have to make sure no one else abandons this. No one else gets left behind. Morgana's form flickers. You already have been left behind. That's the point. She releases your hand, and you watch her dissolve into the temporal decay, like a photograph developing in reverse, becoming less defined until she's just a presence you can feel, but no longer see. The sky bridge back down to the lower city stretches before you. The chronometer on your wrist cycles steadily through time, the only constant in a city built on lies about constancy. You're carrying research that could change everything, and you're still running, just in a new direction. The metallic taste in your mouth is your own blood. You're biting your lip again. Behind you, in the depths of the archive, something is being born, something that used to be your sidekick and is becoming something the universe has never quite made before. And you're documenting it like the archaeologist you've always been, observing beauty and catastrophe simultaneously, unable to do anything but bear witness. That's what adaptive brilliance really means, not the ability to learn, the ability to survive the learning.
Thanks for listening to our story today. Our stories at Fables Adventures are created using the Fables Adventures app for iOS, available for both the iPhone and the iPad. And if you have enjoyed the story that you have just heard and want to create stories like this of your own, head over to the Apple App Store and download the app for yourself. There is a link in the description. You can also read the full text of the story that you have just heard at the link in the description of this story as well. Hit like, subscribe to our channel, and please leave us a comment about what you enjoyed about today's story. It really helps. We're trying to do something here at Fables Adventures to support people living with ALS or motor neuron disease, simply by creating content like this for you all to enjoy. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow.